Monks, these 6 things are unsurpassable. Which 6? The unsurpassable seeing, listening, acquisition, training, service, and recollection. And what is the unsurpassable seeing? Some people go to see an elephant treasure, a horse treasure, a jewel treasure, or a diverse spectrum of sights, or ascetics and brahmins of wrong view and wrong practice. There is such a seeing, I don't deny it. That seeing is low, crude, ordinary, ignoble, and pointless. It doesn't lead to disillusionment, dispassion, cessation, peace, insight, awakening, or enlightenment. But the unsurpassable seeing is when someone with settled faith and love, who is sure and devoted, goes to see an enlightened one or their disciples. This is in order to purify sentient beings, to get past sorrow and crying and despair, to make an end of pain and sadness, to discover the system, and to realize extinguishment in nirvana. This is called the unsurpassable seeing. Such is the unsurpassable seeing. But what of the unsurpassable hearing? Some people go to hear the sound of drums or harps, singers, or a diverse spectrum of sounds, or they go to ascetics and brahmins of wrong view and wrong practice. There is such a hearing, I don't deny it, but that hearing doesn't lead to disillusionment, disenchantment, or enlightenment. The unsurpassable hearing is when someone with settled faith and love, someone who is sure and devoted, goes to hear the teaching of an enlightened one or his disciples. This is called the unsurpassable hearing. Such is the unsurpassable seeing and hearing. But what of acquisition? Some people acquire a child, a wife. They acquire wealth or a diverse spectrum of things. Or they acquire faith in an ascetic or a brahmin of wrong view and wrong practice. There are such acquisitions, I don't deny it. But those don't lead to enlightenment. The unsurpassable acquisition is when someone with settled faith and love, who is sure and devoted, acquires faith in an enlightened one or their disciple. This is called the unsurpassable acquisition. Such is the unsurpassable seeing, hearing, and acquisition. But what of unsurpassable training? Some people train in things like elephant riding, horse riding, chariot driving, archery, and swordsmanship. Some people train in a diverse spectrum of things, or they train under a teacher of wrong view and wrong practice. There are such trainings, I don't deny it, but those don't lead to disillusionment, dispassion, disenchantment. Those don't lead to enlightenment. The unsurpassable training is when someone with settled faith and love, sure and devoted, trains in the higher ethics, trains in the higher mind and in the higher wisdom, in the teaching and trainings proclaimed by an enlightened one. This is the unsurpassable training. Such is the unsurpassable seeing, hearing, acquisition, and training. But what of service? What of the unsurpassable service? Well, some people serve an aristocrat, a priest, or a householder, or a diverse spectrum of people, or they serve teachers of wrong view and wrong practice. There is such service, I don't deny it, but that service doesn't lead to enlightenment. The unsurpassable service is when someone with settled faith and love, sure and devoted, serves an enlightened one or their disciple. This is called the unsurpassable service. Such is the unsurpassable seeing, listening, acquisition, training, and service. But finally, what of the unsurpassable recollection? Some people recollect a child, a wife, their bank accounts, or a diverse spectrum of things. They recollect a teacher of wrong view and wrong practice. There is such recollection, I don't deny it. But that recollection is low, crude, ordinary, ignoble, and pointless. It doesn't lead to disillusionment, dispassion, cessation. It doesn't lead to peace or insight or awakening and enlightenment. The unsurpassable recollection is when someone with settled faith and love, sure and devoted, recollects an enlightened one or their disciples. This is called the unsurpassable recollection. These are the 6 unsurpassable things.